Hi all, and welcome to this Better Your Chess live stream. I'm Waldemar, and I'll be your host for the coming 60 to 90 minutes or so. So, what are we going to do? I'll be sending out blitz challenges with a time control of 5+3. And for the moment, these challenges from my side will be casual, since this whole streaming and talking business is rather new to me. If you want to challenge me, that's also fine. Please use 5+3 for the time control, and both rated and casual are fine. Then after the game, I will take some time to analyze it with the tools that Lichess offers us, and hopefully everybody will learn something. If you want to ask me some questions, please do so in the YouTube chat. After each game analysis, I will take a look at it to see if there are any, if I don't forget. Okay, let's have some fun. It's game on. So let me just quickly check a few things. Apparently we are streaming. And let's go to Lichess. So I'm going to create a game here. 5+3 casual. White or black. Hello Alexa 1982. Let me try my trusted d4 move. Bishop f4. London system. Okay. He's trying the King's Indian setup. That's interesting also, yeah? Okay. Sometimes there is knight h5, hunting down my bishop, so I'll just create an escape square on h2 for my bishop. e3, bishop e2, this is where the bishop belongs in the King's Indian setup, or against the King's Indian setup rather. This one I encountered not too long ago during a National League game. Knight c6 was played there. I think I know sort of what I can play here. Well, for the moment e5 is not possible, because I'm controlling that square 3 times. Now if he plays down the same line as in this league game, then yeah, I never know about these positions here. The bishop doesn't feel right there, it doesn't feel like it belongs. Still, I mean, I must make a move. I cannot play e4 to push it, I can play g4 to push it, but then I will just go back. And I'll have weakened myself. Knight h4, same story. So, knight d2, c3, c4. I think I'm going to go with c3 in this case. Normally I like to play with c4 against the King's Indian setup. So I can, you know, just attack this pawn chain and revive or revitalize my London bishop. But now I think he's aiming to play on the e4 square. Then if I would have played c4 and knight e4 is played, then knight c3 he can take and he doubles my pawn. Not that it's the end of the world, of course, it is not. Maybe he also wants to play a4 here. I think I'm going to stop that and claim possession of the b5 square here. Now, apart from knight e2, there's also maybe knight a3 to b5. I'm not so sure. But I think I'm going to keep my knight on d2. Yeah, I'm going to keep it central. And if anything, I learned this morning that I should play a lot faster. In the last game I had a pretty good position. Well, a winning position, but I somehow failed to capitalize on that because I was thinking for ages and ages and ages, and then I just simply timed out. That was not very good. Okay, but my position is very solid. Knight bd2 to come. Maybe also bishop h2 just to get out of any knight tempos against my London bishop and or the e7 e5 tempo. But then, of course, my position is not just solid, it's also a little bit unambitious, because where and when and how and all these questions am I going to attack him? Yeah, okay. I was going to play this anyway, right? Now, if he takes me, I'll just recapture with the knight, and then I'll be able to bring the bishop to f3. From where it will exert some pressure on the long diagonal of the central squares. e5. So should I react or not? Well, first of all, my bishop is hanging, right? I could try this. No, knight takes g5. So I'm just gonna drop back with the bishop. That's fine. Just dropping back with the bishop. Now the question is d5 some sort of a threat? He takes that. How should I take that? I mean, cd is interesting, but then I will give up the b4 square. So let me just play normal stuff. Normal stuff. This position is looking quite healthy, quite good. But somehow I think I still prefer my position. Let me just get rid of this. Excuse me, first I should take here, rid of these pieces in the center there. And then we'll play like this. Okay. Well, he is threatening checkmate. But, you know, I was going to take this bishop anyway. So no more threats of checkmate, and now I'll just kick. Now his bishop on g7 and his knight on c6 are not so good. So I managed to arrange that. Now I think a very natural move is to play queen b3. Just attack him. There is no entrance on e2 or e3 or whatever. I think I should just go here. But maybe there is bishop d4, pawn takes d4, queen. No, I don't think there is that. I don't think there is that. If he plays rook b8, I can just take on c6. If he plays b6, I can just take on c6. So how is he going to protect knight d8? Yeah, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? Then I can take over the e file. Then his rooks are not communicating. I like my position. My king is very solid. My bishops are around, protecting. My pawn chain is extremely solid. I'm up on the clock. Also, if he plays rook a7, I'll take, and I'll give a check on b8, picking up the rook on a7. So it's very difficult. What will he come up with? What will he come up with? Knight d8, bishop b7, rook b8. That would lose me a piece. No, I think in that case I will just, as mentioned, try and take over the e file. Yeah. Okay, now I'm not completely sure how and when and why and so on. I mean, is there another try here? I don't know. Let me just try this. Maybe rook fe1 was more to the point there. Now the check on e8 is threatening. I think, yeah, no, okay, it's okay, it's fine, of course. Maybe I should also play bishop g3 to give that bishop some scope, because then sometimes bishop h4 becomes a theme. Also bishop f4 by way of luring the queen away from an important square might be an important move to activate. Well, I might be able to give the check now. Of course, I have to be careful because there is queen c1. Let me just start with giving the check. I mean, it's blitz, you know, I cannot think about every move so long. And now I just want to play this to safeguard my king. Now I was thinking that no, knight c6 doesn't work because of bishop c6. And that protects my rook on e8. So bishop d5 is probably then going to be my next move. Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Yeah, but wait a second. That just loses the rook, right? I mean, that just loses the rook. Yeah. Okay. Well, Alexa1982, thank you very much for the game. I do see that you're challenging me to a rematch, but in general, I just like to analyze the game after we play it. So I'm going to request a computer analysis. And then while the computer is making a graph of our game, some sort of a summary, I'm just going to go through the game. So all of this is really quite well known. Knight c6 was played against me. So I play castles, bishop f5. Yeah, that's sort of funny, right? I mean, now he suggests to go bishop d3, not to leave the bishop alive too much out there. So what's theory here? Because I was thinking, you know, about what to play. Even knight c3 without moving my c-pawn is an idea there. So the most played move here, well, there's only 3 games. Well, from very, very decent players. So there's bishop h2, as I ended up playing a little bit later on. And then there was c4, and then there's knight bd2. Anyway, my move c3 cannot be a mistake. Of course, it remains 0.2. a5. Yeah, maybe I didn't need the timeout, but I think this move is fine, because I like to control the b5 square. Knight e4 was played. Now I'm going to go with this. e5 was played. This is all rather correct. Now he takes here. E takes d is normal. And now he played this move. So the idea here was also, as the computer suggests, to take, and start harassing those pieces. Now there is something else suggested by the computer. I'm not sure I like it too much. I prefer the way I played. Bishop c4. And the idea, of course, is that if black plays something like this, then he has voluntarily opened up my beautiful London bishop, and I will be able to pin him and have some advantage here. Maybe some knight e5s are possible, maybe some knight g5s sometimes if that square is protected, or knight d2 to arrest the bishop on e4. But that is a way to play, but probably I wouldn't play d5 here. But the computer cannot think of something else that is decent to play. Anyway, let's see what happened here. In the game I played knight d2. Yeah, there is quite a big difference between bishop c4 and knight d2 as far as evaluation is concerned. So the computer always likes to put more pressure on the opponent's half of the board. What in fact you are doing with bishop c4. So from that point I can understand. But I was just following a certain strategic line here. Okay, yes. Had he played bishop d5, then things would have been much better for him. Because queen g5 was clearly a mistake, giving me the beautiful bishop. I think, again, that I would have played something like this, very solid, very safe. And if he exchanges, I would go back with the knight or the queen even, I'm not so sure. And then I could say that maybe my pieces are a little bit better than his. But it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say. The position is equal more than anything else. Yeah. Okay. So knight d2, and now queen d5 was wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was wrong. So I take and I take, and I follow up with bishop f3, and just look at that diagonal, guys. Black no longer has the light squared bishop, but look at the diagonal. This is just killing. There's 3 pieces on that diagonal, and the bishop is unopposed. So naturally, I start hitting all those light squares. Sometimes also bishop d5 in conjunction with queen b3 becomes a theme, because f7 might be weak. Knight e8 is really the only defense. By the way, did the computer suggest anything else apart from queen b3? No, so that's fine. knight d8 was played, rook a e1, rook a e1. I'm following the computer suggestions. You would almost think that I'm playing with the computer. Rook e1. Yeah, now it's difficult, right? Because how to protect the back rank? How to protect the back rank? Well, you can play king. You can maybe play something like, but I think I see something beautiful. If you play this, then I might be able to play this. Because of this, I wanted to go, that's a pity. I wanted to go bishop c6, because of course after this move, this is checkmate. That's what I saw. But he will take like this and protect his rook like that. So that would be a blunder, guys. I could not play... sorry. After king f8, what is the suggested move? Yeah, I would have to find this new weakness, because queen b5, yeah, looks sort of normal to threaten mate on e8, but he can always exchange, right? Would be a very good endgame for me, don't get me wrong, but you want to keep the queens on the board. And now this might be very nice. Yeah, there is no protecting the pawn with rook c8, for instance, here, because then this is just winning. It's a check and the c pawn is pinned. So queen c4 would have been a very strong move there. Anyways, after rook exchange on e1 and not king f8 but rook b8, I gave the check. Now I have to be careful of queen c1. He suggests g4. I played this move, I like that better. And then he played this move. It's just giving up the rook. That was a blunder. And I won the game. Okay. Well, thank you for the game once more, Alexa, 1982. Yeah, if we take a look at the graph, it was also quite a gradual affair. Proper bull market with no large spikes downward. Okay, so let's go to the next game. Let's see who wants to play me. Hi and welcome to GEU67. Started following me some 35 seconds ago. It's all indicated here on the homepage of leechess.org. Okay, Hector 46, strong player. Let's see what we can do. Maybe King's Indian affair? Probably. I need to play d6 here. Okay. h4. Wow. That is very aggressive. Should I play h5? I'm not so sure, because he'll be able to play f3 and g4 later on. I think I'm going to try and act as aggressively as possible as well against the dark squares here. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's already kind of scary, huh? What should I do? Let's try and open up the center. You're supposed to do that, right? When your opponent attacks you on the flank. Now, how to play? I want to play the natural move. Just take something on e4. Well, that looks kind of strong. h6 is the move that comes to mind, or queen a5. I don't know. Queen a5, h6 somehow. He takes that, and then I should be fine there, I think. Okay, let's go with h6. I know that I might be weakening my king position on the light squares, but if I can manage to hold on, now should I take that with the queen or with the bishop? I think with the queen feels better somehow. Let's not be too fast about it. Yeah, this. Okay. Well, my development is better, but my king is not very safe, right? But then again, his is in the center, and I have a lot of light squares here. But I need extra development even. I need more development. Well, it seems like the logical move is just to put something on e5, develop my pieces, right? d6 is protected. I'm very strong on the dark squares. f2 is a weakness. Yeah, I don't know. Knight e5 looks like a very compliant move somehow. Is c4 an idea? Sometimes c4 is an idea. What's he threatening? For the moment, not much, because I'm not really afraid. I like to play this move somehow. I think I need to play it. Because if he plays a4, then it will also weaken his queen side, so it's even less likely that he will castle in that direction. Yeah, It's the kind of position where I don't feel at ease somehow because of my king side, right? My king side, my king side, my king side. But what can I do? So where are my targets? c3 is a target. e4 not really a target. The queen is a target. Yeah, okay. Now rook b8 is an idea. Okay, let me just try this. If he takes me, then I think I'll just go with the queen. So sometimes queen d4 is an idea, because if he takes, then a rook capture, the knight has to move, and then rook takes on e4 is possible. That's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. Okay, also for the endgame, I will have the outside passed pawn. Okay, but that's a long way away still, right? But I managed to exchange many minor pieces. I'm left with the bishop pair. Some very good control on the dark squares, but it feels that I should still somehow try and crash through on the queen side. Also, if my queen goes, let's say, too far, then g6 is a problem. Maybe now he wants to play f4 sometimes. Then I could give a check, but he could just move. I know this is weakening the light squares even more, but I think I'm gonna clamp down on those dark squares. Of course, I'm not playing this perfectly. It doesn't feel right somehow what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, but I don't mind too much. Because f2 is going to be one of my targets anyway, right? Okay, I did give up the pressure against e4. That's a bit of a pity. Why am I better? I keep claiming that I'm better, but if he brings a knight to f5, for instance, well, b2 is weak. Okay, b2 is weak. I should do something on the queen side, right? The beautiful dark square bishop. The other idea is, of course, to play something along the lines of queen f4, bishop e5, but there's always g3 frustrating me like that. So I don't really know what to do here. Let me just develop for the moment. I mean, his knight can also not go too far, because then bishop b5 is always a very good move. And then what's my next? Oh, wait a second. Yeah, bishop h5 is in trouble. So my next move could be rook f6. Then I'm also playing with the idea of doubling. But more to the point, after rook f6, I would probably be threatening g4, and he cannot protect his bishop. That's a bishop. I would be taking the g6 square away from him. Also, now that the queen on d3 is no longer protected, queen d4 becomes more of a topic, and that pawn could become very dynamic. You know, if he exchanges on d4, I would probably take that with the c pawn. Then the knight has to return, giving up the b5 square. My bishop could jump to life. There's also d3s. I'd be hitting many stuff at once. But maybe I should just prepare all this with doubling on the f-file, so as also to involve the a rook before I do something like that. But it seems that Hector 46 has left the game, guys, because he's just timing out. What's happening here? He's timing out. That's a pity. It says here, warning Hector 46, letting time run out instead of resigning will result in a temporary ban. Now, I don't think this position is worth resigning, but maybe the computer picks up that black's better. I'm guessing black's better. Anyways, guys, let's go to the analysis board and see what happens here. Okay, he is starting the server analysis already. Let's go through the game. Yeah, Bombist is challenging me. That's very nice. But I always go through the game analysis first. So if Bombist, if you're still there after the game analysis, well, definitely play a game. You're very strong, so I'd better come prepared. So h4, what kind of move is that? I mean, is that theory? Well, it's been played before, of course. Okay, so according to theory, I do react in the most aggressive way with c5. I like that. So theory continues like this. There's still some games, for instance, by Temur Rajabov. Okay, so I'm playing like Rajabov. But then again, we all know these Benoni schemes, don't we? So h5, yes, e takes d. And now c takes d was played. Yeah, I'm not sure. It gives a bit of a target, of course. So let's get rid of the theory and let's just think on our own. Now he wants me to take on h5, but I'm a human being. I'll never do that. I'll never do that. I play the normal move, rook e8, but he still prefers white. Somehow he still prefers white. Was there a moment? Well, it's possible to play like this, you know. Against the King's Indian, the Benoni, and with white you can afford a thing or two. Rook e8, let me just play this move. h6, interesting. Boxing me in, but okay. Yeah, this move, I was thinking, I also ended up playing h6. I wasn't too sure about queen a5. Okay, let's go with h6, it's a fine move. He takes me, and now he's giving up those beautiful dark squares. So I was probably right to think that I'm a bit better now. Of course he takes. I keep my structure intact as much as possible. And then queen d3 was played. Yeah. Now a few days ago against, I want to say Arwol, very strong player, I made a mistake by playing bishop d7 because I didn't want my opponent's rook to give me a check on e8. But there was always still king h7. I think I should have played knight d7 there also. Anyways, knight d7, very normal Benoni move. And now he suggests to keep white's queen a bit more active. Well, okay, in the end he also thinks that knight f3 is just as good as any other move. a6 is what I played, a4 is what he ends up playing. Okay, now this is where it becomes a little bit difficult, huh? He says, listen, you could also just start with g5, and then the idea is probably to play g4 and just claim the e5 square for your knight and not allowing it to be traded. That is interesting, because then my knight would land on e5 with so much more power, because it would be hitting the queen. So is that indeed the threat, g4? He says the threat is g4 or any rook move. Well, rook f8 would prepare g4 even more. Interesting, yeah. Rook b8, just toying with the idea of b5. So maybe this knight e5, as I said, it was a little bit too compliant, not a bad move. So we get to exchange, and I maintain my my slight advantage here. So what did my opponent play? He castled now. And I thought, listen, maybe you want to go f4, but I could also have frustrated him with rook f8. That also stops f4. So then I don't have to weaken my pawn structure. Yes. So rook f8 would have been better. I understand, I like that better. Then on the other hand, I was still toying with the idea of queen d4, maybe keeping some pressure on e4. Anyways, I played g5. He doesn't like that too much. Yeah, okay, so I was inviting the bishop, but then the bishop is maybe not ideally placed. So bishop h5 and queen d3 should re-establish connection with queen e2, for instance. He played, however, this move, and I could have and should have played g4 immediately. I thought maybe then he'll sneak out to g6 and maybe f5, but does he not lose a pawn then? So let's see what happens. He goes here, the only safe square is this. And then I get to attack him again, right? And then he has to go here. Yeah, this is true, of course. I control the f5 square 3 times. And, I mean, any pawn is a good pawn. Well, this is not true, but... Okay, no! I didn't want to do that! So I first played bishop d7, letting slip of the pawn there for a moment. He could re-establish connection, safeguard his bishop with maybe bishop back and queen e2. I think the green arrow is the threat. Now I definitely... Well, I wanted to first play rook f6 and then only g4, but it turns out that g4 immediately was good. So this is what I played. Oh, and then he timed out already. This is the end of the game. Yeah, okay, well, that's a pity, right? That's a pity. Okie dokie. Anyways, that's one more analysis done. Now let's go and see if we can... Come on. I'm going to accept the challenge from Bombist. Hi, Bombist, 2335, very strong opponent. Is Bombist still there? Yes, Bombist is still there. Okay, let's see what we can do. Play like this. Let's try something like this. h3. Okay, cool. Wow. He is really confusing the issue here. Well, he is controlling the d5 square sufficiently. And I should also not be playing too slowly, of course. So d5 is not really on the cards. Well, maybe it is. Next move. I mean, can I play d5? If he takes that, I'll just go, that's very funny, knight b4, but then he has bishop g2. Okay, so he's got it all figured out. He's got it all figured out somehow. That's very strong, very strong. I don't want him to push me back. I'm gonna play d6 here. Maybe he has g5, I don't know. So he just wants to put stuff on d5, yeah? Now he's very seriously controlling that square. So what should I be playing here? It's not so easy. Yeah, okay, he's already up on the clock. He's a much stronger player, but how am I going to play against this? I should develop some sort of an initiative against the queen side. Where should my pieces go? Let me just make a normal development move here. Bishop d7. Castles. That looks perfectly normal. Okay. Excuse me, guys, for that noise. Okay, let me play like this. Queen d2. I definitely want to put something on c4 there. Why don't I put something on c4 there? Or at least threaten with it. Yes, that's what he does. Okay. Well, it's a blitz game. I'm looking at let me try this. It takes that, I'll just go here. This is not without danger for white, I'm pretty sure. That's 2 pawns for the attack. His knight is not on f3. Okay, that looks kind of dangerous, because now I'll play this move. And I'll bring the queen to h4. Not sure bishop d4 was a good move there. Okay, he must move the rook now. Now maybe this move is nice. If it goes here, it's check. Check. This might be a drawing combination. Yeah, so I'm playing for a draw. Yeah, I felt under pressure. Somehow that opening was going in white's direction. It was white all the way, the opening. So now he has to find a very good move, obviously. Yeah. But how are my rooks involved in this story? So the idea is for me maybe just to take with the bishop and then somehow draw. What can he do? If he moves the bishop, then I can take on f2. If he moves the bishop along the Italian diagonal, I can take on d2. If he moves the queen, I'll take on e3. The same story if he moves the king. It doesn't appear to be very helpful to move anything else. But am I winning somehow? I mean, do I also have a winning threat? Knight takes e3, he takes with the pawn. I mean, can I, for instance, play for the win? I don't believe I can play for the win here. I don't believe I can play for the win here. That was a bit of a tricky move, this bishop h6. f4. Can he play f4? Maybe f4 is a try. So what to do after f4? Okay, in the end he goes for it. So he forces me, I have to go here. Wait a second. I can check him, go back. If I check him here, he has to go here. Do I have anything else? No, I don't think I have anything else. Okay, well, Moes, thank you for the game. You're a very strong opponent. Let's go to the analysis board. Request a computer analysis here and see what we did. This h3 move, I don't know. This h3 move. Well, I continued, of course, with bishop g5, and then he plays like this. This is interesting. He likes black here, but it's not completely clear to me why. Knight f6 he likes. Then, of course, you protect. We castle. He goes g4 even. I played d6. But let's see if this is a theoretical position somehow. No more. But is it still known? Here it is still known. This is game. Then he played 92, it's no longer known. Okay, so I should play a little bit more aggressive here after g4. b5 would have been interesting. Obviously, if he takes that, then I get to take this pawn here on e4. That's a very good center pawn. So he would never do that. But then again, how about this? I mean, it looks like a proper pawn sacrifice, but there will be some compensation. Yeah, there will be a check, and I'm guessing he has to go back. And now, this kind of play. Yeah. So if I want to put pressure on such a wide opening, I need to find those spicy ideas more. But in a blitz game, it's very difficult. I have to play more according to the patterns that we all know, right? So this b5 is interesting. b5. I played d6. Yeah, it's a bit too slow probably. Need to play more aggressive. Bishop g2. Now I really like the grasp that white is getting on the position. Knight d7 was also a move going through my mind. Yeah, maybe I'm slightly on the wrong track here. He says white's slightly better. Rook c8 he liked, it was okay. Bishop e3, perfectly normal move. Then I could have gone knight a5 as well. I played a6. Well, the thing is, yeah, I just briefly thought there that a7 needed to be protected because it's under pressure from the bishop on e3. But let's not forget that if I play such a move and he takes, there's always this b3, or excuse me, b6 move to reckon with. And the bishop might not be very happy on a7. Apart from that, also maybe knight c4 is decent. Yeah, he just kicks me, right? He just kicks me. So, no, b6 is probably better, yeah. So I played a6, a bit of a timid move. I was a bit intimidated also. Queen d2. And now I played knight e5. Yeah, b3 is a normal move, even though you weaken the long diagonal. But if white plays carefully, I should not be able to capitalize on that. And then still, it would mean giving up my dark square bishop. Maybe white would welcome that, you know, as a positional exchange sacrifice. So b3 was played. Bishop c6 is basically the normal procedure. But, I mean, e4 for the time being is well protected. And, okay, knight d4 is already hitting the bishop, but maybe f4 is also there. And I'd have to go back, and I don't really like my position. It's very cramped, very cramped. So, I thought, you know, for a blitz game, this is probably not too bad. And then like this. Yes, white has the advantage. But he has to play very carefully, and I think that maybe this was a mistake. You see, minus 1.6. Boom. Boom. But I failed to win from here. Bishop h6 was strong. Okay, I think... Why didn't I not go for the win? I could have gone for the win. I thought there was no win. You see how intimidated I am by a player with a higher rating. Of course, he should have gone here. And now, if I take, there is the very strong threat of f5 involving my rook, and also bishop h3 sometimes is nasty. But you know, I'm down a piece here, but for 3 pawns. For 3 pawns. So I'm guessing, guys, that f5 is a threat. Also, my rook on c8 is well placed. There's also bishop b5s sometimes. But let's ask the computer, so what's the main threat? f5, yeah. That went through my mind to play f5. Well, I didn't. I was scared. Okay, next time better. This is how I could have played. And then here he asks, or he says, this is a blunder because it's a winning position, so you should not take the draw. Anyway, happy with the draw so far, I guess. Yeah, but here you see that I'm laundering away the win. I did not have the peace and quiet to evaluate the position and say, listen, I already have 3 pawns for the piece. His king is unsafe. I'm gonna play f5, which is tremendous. Well, okay, next time better. I think we'll be playing our final game of the session. Here we go. Hello, Cows24. Yeah, okay. Let me play this move first. T-dum, T-dum, T... Well, there is no longer the bishop f5 trick, right? So I can play like this. Okay. If given the chance, I'll play c4. Yeah, c4 is fine, I guess. Knight h5, there's always bishop g5, since black's bishop is not on e7 yet. So I'm trusting that that will be fine. Maybe, if knight c3, knight h5, then something. Bishop e5 takes. Okay. I'm lazy again, you know, I'm lazy. I'll just play h3 to protect my bishop. Lazy, 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 lazy. What does he want? He wants to take on c4, play b5, and so on. And then, I want to take on d5, but not in this case, because he can recapture. I'm gonna go with this. And trust that b5 before hitting my knight is not the end of the world. Even though it would... Why is everybody playing this b5 move against me? Tomorrow, also somebody did that. Okay, if I play knight b5, I don't like it too much because of bishop b4. But can't I just safely play this move, bishop b5? I think I can. Now I'm hitting this knight. Yeah, let's castle. Okay, I'm gonna protect that. Just run my passed a pawn down the board. I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna put some pressure on the C file. I think I'll take that. Now, if he takes with the queen, I think I should just make use of this free tempo. And knight b5 was better there. Knight b5 was probably better there. That was too schablonenhaft, guys. Don't play like a template. Don't make the obvious moves. Oh. Okay. Can I somehow move this knight away? Then knight c6 is a very nice tempo, yeah? Knight b5 is the aggressive move, but he plays c6. Who knows what's going on there? I don't. So let me just play this. Protect b2, connect the rooks, maybe rook fc1, see what happens, yeah? I didn't like knight e5, what kind of move was that? But now I can play knight b5 with a tempo because I'm hitting d6. Yeah, I think that's correct. Let me play this. And now, obviously, I should play like this, because now I'm hitting c7. How is he going to defend that? Like that, but it's not really defending it, right? I mean, this should be an exchange. That's an exchange. Bishop c7 is an exchange. Cows 24. Now let's take that. So now I'm up 4. Okay. maybe I should somehow... Yeah, if I go... I don't like it. If I go queen d2, he'll play knight d4. I think I should just start controlling all these squares and things and what have you. Yeah. Now, if I keep my wits about me, I should be able to win this game. I was just intimidated there by bombast. You know, psychological weakness. That was just a clearly winning position, but then again the problem is also, why don't I realize sufficiently that it's such a winning position, huh? Okay, now queen goes there. Rook c6 is not really something. I want to play queen c2, which is probably just fine. Yeah, I don't see any problems with that. We should just attack. Attack, attack, attack. Yeah, this is to be expected, this move. Knight a7, knight a7. So that's not going to be very successful. I can also just... Yeah, I don't like that move too much. I think I'll play this move. No. Yeah, why not? I mean, knight e4. There's always queen. b6. Knight e4, something like queen b6, yeah. Okay. But I can take that. I can take that, because now knight takes e5 is no longer protecting. Yeah. If you take that, we'll continue like that and it'll be mate. Okay. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So what's the strongest move here? Let me just take. And then I'll just pin him and I'll go knight d6. What? Seriously? Seriously? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for the game, Chaos24. Let's just see what happened there. I think the most important moment here was, of course, b5, because that really blunders a pawn. You see, before b5, it's just 0.4. And yeah, for instance, you can harass my bishop. That's not too bad. If I go to b1, you take on c4. So, you know, he's even suggesting castles and giving the bishop. Wow, I never really liked to play it like that. So probably I would have played this. And then you could take here. And then I could take here. And then we have a normal position. Yeah, or b3. Okay, but this is a normal position. But b5, I think, is a mistake. That just loses the pawn. Bishop b5. This is all quite normal. Okay, so there were queen moves. But I played this guy, which is also fine. Then he played this one. Knight e5. Is that what I played? Well, I could have played knight e5, but I did it somehow the other way around. But he should have taken with the knight and then not allow my knight to come to e5. So I think actually that what the computer suggests here is a bit stronger. Trying to take the bishop, and then of course if you go like here, I want to say this, but then c6, yeah, that's... No. So he prefers this. This is also nice, of course, because the pawn is very well protected here on b5. There is an open a file, and this is weak, this is weak, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is also quite nice. And let's not forget this knight is also sort of boxed in. Currently protected by the bishop on e7, but not an ideal position to be in. So I started with bishop takes d7, doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Now, okay, I used the tempo just to jump in, but maybe knight b5 was also there. Anyway, knight e5, queen here, a5 immediately, he suggests. Yeah, he doesn't like this too much. Knight a2 to get rid of that strong knight. I wanted to get rid of the knight to be able to deliver a fork on c6, but somehow this move would not cross my mind. How to eliminate the defender? In this case, the defender of the c6 square. This move would not cross my mind. And if he takes, I might be able just to in between play this, because this is hitting the queen, so that would be very strong. Yeah. So this maintains the advantage, but it's not so strong. So this was played. Knight b5 now hitting the bishop. He takes me. Yeah, very often, you know, giving up bishops for knights. It's significant. Not everybody appreciates that. Maybe in this case it was difficult to play something else. But that did not protect c7. So probably something like knight a6, even though that's putting a piece in the line of fire for my queen on e2, or knight e8 as suggested by the computer. But then rook c1 and it should be over. Knight c6, and from here, as is shown by the graph, it was rather plain sailing. No serious mistakes there anymore from either side. Okie dokie. Well, guys, thank you very much for the attention. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Like the video if you like this live stream. Leave a comment. What do you think about what I'm doing? Do you have some suggestions for live streams or videos or what have you? And if you want to support the channel, you can also find a donate link in the video description below the video. Okay, guys. Actually, yeah, there's one final thing I wanted to say, because I want to apologize for the fact that in the previous live stream I very often said white, where in actual fact I meant black. And I hope I did that better in this particular live stream, because it's a very silly mistake to make. If you mean white, why would you say black? And if you mean black, why would you say white? Anyway, I thought I did that rather frequently, and I hope to not do that in the future so often anymore. Anyways, that's it from me, guys. See you next time. Maybe when will be the next time? Tonight I have to play a competition game. Tomorrow it's National League game. So maybe Sunday? Or maybe tomorrow night, you know, just to sum up tomorrow's game, if that's an interesting one to analyze. Okay, anyway, enough talk. See you around. Cheers.